Hello, everybody. My name's Scott Anderson. I'm one of the Tergar Facilitators, and welcome to the Stay Home and Meditate program. The past week, we've been continuing to explore some of the teachings that Rinpoche shared with us last Sunday. And perhaps you had the good fortune to attend the live retreat last Sunday. I know that it did fill, so perhaps many of you did not get a chance to see it. And what we'll do here today is explore some of the material that Rinpoche covered, and more specifically to practice that material, to work with integrating it. So to summarize, one of the elements that Rinpoche covered last Sunday is our good qualities and how easy it is for us to neglect to see those good qualities, to neglect to recognize those qualities. And if we have a hard time seeing them within ourselves, we almost assuredly will have a hard time seeing that within others. And as we all work to navigate our way through this COVID crisis and the various degrees of self-quarantine and isolation that we're working with, it can be very easy for us to focus on the bad qualities of ourselves and others around us. And so we have these practices to keep returning to again and again to help us recognize our true nature. So to summarize the teachings very quickly, Rinpoche invited us to consider our basic goodness. That our meditation is not about fabricating something new or about self-improvement or becoming something that we aren't. But at the end of the day, our practice is about recognizing our true nature. And part of our true nature is our basic goodness. Part and parcel to our basic goodness is going to be loving kindness and compassion. And what we see is that there's a reciprocal relationship. Our basic goodness is evidence of loving kindness and compassion. And loving kindness and compassion in turn are evidence of our basic goodness. And the practice we'll begin here in just a few moments is going to be based on the idea of loving kindness and compassion. The idea behind that is your desire to be happy. Your loving kindness is going to be evidence of your basic goodness. And similarly, your desire to be free from suffering, your compassion, is going to be evidence of your basic goodness. And as we become more conversant in loving kindness and compassion, then what we see is that the behaviors of others who may seem sometimes puzzling, irritating, and sometimes downright maddening, is at the end of the day based on their desire to be happy and to be free from suffering. And so our practice is going to be to explore our own desire to be happy and free from suffering. And then the invitation to consider that that is a shared experience, not just with your friends, your family, but indeed all beings. So to begin the practice, sitting upright. So sense that your spine is alert, yet at the same time your muscles relaxed. Then having begun with your posture, now reflecting on your motivation to be here. You've taken some time or taking some time out of your day. We're each seeking happiness and a reduction in our stress and suffering. Now, as mentioned previously, considering that these wishes, to be happy, to be free from suffering, are shared intentions. And this practice that we're embarking upon, not just for your own benefit, for the benefit of all beings. Now, having set that aspiration, resting your mind. If your mind is filled with thoughts, letting them be. If your mind is quiet, letting it be. And as Rinpoche often describes, resting your mind in open awareness. Non-distracted, and that you're letting your thoughts or non-thoughts be. And non-meditation, and that there's not something special or particular to focus on. Having rested your mind in open awareness, now reflecting upon your own desire to be happy. And how that desire for happiness guides and directs your actions and behaviors. And to work with that desire for happiness, quietly to yourself repeating, may I enjoy happiness and its causes. May I enjoy happiness and its causes. May I enjoy happiness and its causes. Now, like with any meditation that we practice, distraction occurs. When you find yourself pulled away by a stream of thoughts, gently guiding awareness back to loving kindness, repeating quietly to yourself, may I enjoy happiness and its causes. Having meditated on loving kindness for yourself, letting that meditation fall away, and once again resting your mind in open awareness. Often described as non-distracted, non-meditation. Having rested your mind, now contemplate your desire to be free from hardship, anxiety, all the many various forms of suffering. Then repeating quietly to yourself, may I be free from suffering and its causes. May I be free from suffering and its causes. May I be free from suffering and its causes. If you find yourself distracted, not to worry, it happens to all of us. At that moment that you recognize distraction, gently guide awareness back to compassion, repeating quietly to yourself, may I be free from suffering and its causes. Having meditated on compassion for yourself, letting this practice fall away, and once again, resting your mind. And having rested your mind, now considering loving kindness and compassion, your desire to be happy and free from suffering. Repeating quietly to yourself, may I enjoy happiness and its causes and be free from suffering and its causes. May I enjoy happiness and its causes and be free from suffering and its causes. Having meditated on loving, kindness, and compassion, letting this practice fall away, and once again, resting your mind. We began this formal practice with the aspiration, and then reflected on our each individual desire to be free from suffering and to enjoy happiness. So now to conclude the dedication, whatever benefits, merit may accrue from practice, that each our own desire to be happy and free from suffering links us, connects us all, since we all have the shared wishes and desires. And we'll take now a few moments quietly, contemplating any of the benefits of this preceding practice, shared with all sentient beings. All right. So to connect that into what we've been exploring all week, we each have the desire to be happy and free from suffering. It's something that we share that unites us and connects us. So whether it's your actions or your behaviors or that other person's actions and behaviors, that underneath it is that desire to be happy and free from suffering. And as appropriate or inappropriate, skillful or hurtful as actions, behaviors may appear, underneath is that basic goodness. And to keep that in mind for ourselves and for others. Thank you for joining. Stay safe at home and meditate. And please join us. We have these meditations periodically throughout the week.